Guess what that music means? What the social media team calls it, the boomer music. That means it's time for Lemon Live at 5. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. You can see I'm in my new studio. It may as well be my new studio because I'm always in the freaking airport. I am in the airport lounge in one of the booths and bringing the show to you from here. So let me know where you are streaming from. And you guys know the first order of business, if I can tell you. Put it in the chat. Producers, make sure you have the thumbs up because it really does affect. And I noticed that since you guys have been doing the thumbs up, the engagement has been much better. The algorithm has been pushing it out. So thank you so much this morning. Thank you so much. And I want to tell you, so this morning, I'll let you in on a little secret, but I won't tell you the whole thing. So as we were on the show this morning, we were being monitored. Not by what you think. We were being monitored by a reporter that was following us around. So we'll see what happens. So I'll let you know. I can't tell you what's going on, but I'll let you know. So hit the like, hit the thumbs up. More people become aware of our conversation. Wisconsin, Tampa, upstate New York. Where else? Someone said, tell me. North Connecticut or something like that I saw. Oh my God, San Diego. Can you guys slow the chat down or is it already slowed down? Because it's moving fast. Atlanta's here.
It is in slow mode.
It's already slow. Wow, we're gonna have to do super slow-mo. That's what we need to talk to who about. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you helping us to build this community. It means a lot. We were at the YouTube conference yesterday and the day before, and man, I can't tell you how much love we got. New Mexico and Bolingbrook and Philadelphia and San Antonio. So thank you all for that. So if you want to know, because I'm completely transparent. Ontario, Canada. So I'm on my way to go to, I have to go to court in Minnesota, and that's what I'm doing. So I have to do the show from the road. So I will be in, we're trying to figure out how long we're going to go tomorrow with the show. If we're just going to continue straight on from 10 a.m. to after my court appearance, or when we're going to do it. So we'll discuss. But anyway, so wish me luck. That's where I'm going, Seattle. And Athens, Georgia, and Florida. Okay, so thank you. I love you guys too, and thank you. Become a member, like and subscribe, and become a member. And if you already are a member, you can gift a membership. I know Maureen. Oh, she's so amazing. You guys are so amazing, and lots of our legends gift membership. So thank you so much, and subscribe. Okay, so our legends are here. I just want to show you. Hi, legends on the screen. Hello, legends. This is and more are joining as we speak. Hello, legends. Oh, wow. We got a full screen of legends today. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I have so much to talk to you guys about. Me going to court. Did you guys just shake your heads, legends? Did you see Pam Bondi yesterday? Oh, Lord. A mess. A total mess. So we're going to discuss. But first, we have order of business we got to get to, okay? So legends will be here in just a moment. My favorite shows are with the legends. I have to tell you that. And if you're not, that's the highest tier of our membership. If you're not a legend, you're missing out. Legends get to, we were at the YouTube summit, and we were like, we were talking about memberships, and we said, yeah, some of our members get to be on if they're a legend. And they said, wait, you have, I won't tell you who, I almost tell you who told me. And if I tell you, you'll be like, ugh. They said, you have your people on the screen, they're on the show with you? And I said, yes. And they said, oh my gosh, you're brave. I'm like, yeah, we're brave, but we don't have like crazy lunatic people. And if a troll wants to come in and, donate to become a legend, okay, come on down. That's all I say. Anywho, very busy news day. ICE is pulling out of Minnesota. That's what we're told. Tom Homan said a significant drawdown has already been underway this week and will continue into next week. Meantime, the Senate Homeland Security Committee and Governmental Affairs Committee this morning is hearing testimony. They heard testimony from Trump administration and Minnesota officials on federal immigration enforcement efforts in the North Star State. And then anyway, Keith Ellison, they were all on. They had a hearing today, and they were discussing all of that stuff. Okay, and then we're going to talk about Bondi. We're also going to talk about them surveilling the Trump administration, or the Trump regime. I like to call it, surveilling members of Congress, lawmakers, as they went into the skiff to look at the Epstein files. It is outrageous. And then Donald Trump is telling me the reason that we say, like, say what or whatever the thing is like, what the F are you talking about? Donald Trump is saying he doesn't know anything about whether Howard Lutnick went to Epstein Island. It's like, what are you doing? Are you just watching Fox News all day and sitting eating cheeseburgers and fries and Diet Cokes? Crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, let's get to someone who can talk to us all about that. And that is Mr. Mark Caputo. He is a veteran political reporter and the White House reporter for Axios, and we love having him. Hello, Mark Caputo. How you doing?
Hello, Don Lemon. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Mark and I know each other from my CNN show.
Back in the day.
A
long time ago.
Back in the day.
Let me adjust that screen. Well, there we go.
Back in the day, and then I see you like every now and then on these fancy shows on the cable, and you're doing a great job. I just wanted to tell you that. So thanks for joining us. Yeah.
What you got? What's going on?
So let's talk about this with Congress. Congress is erupting over, put up the Axios article. Congress is erupting over Trump administration on the Epstein file searches, right? And over being, I guess, surveilled. What the hell is going on?
I mean, tactically, it's a smart thing for the Justice Department to have done. When the members of Congress came in to look in camera, as they call it, sort of in secret at the unredacted files, they had the access to everything. And DOJ obviously wanted to see what they were looking at so that when Bondi could come and testify, or when they would ask more questions, they would have more information. The problem is Bondi has not built up, charitably speaking, a lot of goodwill in Congress. And the way in which DOJ has handled this has been pretty terrible. In fact, the way the administration has been pretty terrible, because to say that this is Pam Bondi's doing, the way in which the Epstein files have rolled out, it's not quite accurate. Yeah, the buck stops with her at DOJ, but this is Trump's administration and the buck stops with him.
The buck stops with him. But I mean, okay, I get that. But Mark, she's the head of the Justice Department.
Oh, yeah.
And so
again, buck stops with her at DOJ, right? Heavy lies the crown, if I can kind of misquote slightly the King Lear line about, hey, when you're in power and you're in authority, who the cat fit wear it. And she's not necessarily wearing it very comfortably. And that's been a through line through this.
I think it's something like heavy as a head that wears a crown or something like that.
Yeah. Heavy lies the head that wears the crown. I think it is.
That wears a crown.
Look at that. Don Lemon pulling out.
Mike Johnson was asked today on Capitol Hill about surveilling Democrats. And here's what he said.
In her recent diet policy, the DOJ is tracking her search history. Is that appropriate conduct?
I'm not going to comment on an allegation that is unsubstantiated. I don't know anything about that.
Attorney General Bondi testified, and she had a piece of paper that had Giant search history in her minor of the Epstein files.
I don't know anything about that, and I'm not commenting on it. I haven't seen or heard anything about that. But that would be inappropriate if it happened.
Yeah, and so you could see the paper.
Squirmy squirm.
Yeah, you can see the paper right on the desk. I mean, look, you said you thought it was smart. I don't know if it was so smart, but spying, that's un-American.
I mean, it's, as I said, tactically it was smart for them to do it. It's certainly tactically unsmart for her to have that out there and get busted for doing it. So I think there's a little bit of both things at play. It's sort of indicative of the broader way in which the Justice Department and the administration as a whole has handled the Epstein file disclosure, which is just, as I described it recently, it's just sort of constantly stepping on rakes. And one of the things you'll see, whether it's a campaign or an administration or a sports team, they sometimes just get in these losing patterns where everything they do just causes sort of more loss and there winds up being no win. And I think that's probably the best way to describe the entire sort of process, the way in which the Epstein files have rolled out from the get-go, before Trump was even elected. Him saying, and his people on his surrogate saying on the campaign trail, yeah, we'll release the Epstein files. Kash Patel, who becomes the FBI director, was the one who was really sort of stoking the conspiracies about this. Then once he's no longer a podcaster and he's in a position of FBI authority, well, then all of a sudden he's essentially got to refute everything he says. Bondi came out and initially said, we're going to basically release all of this stuff. And then they didn't. And then they came out with a statement saying, oh, there's not much to see here. Forget about it. Then they got strong-armed by Congress. It's just been one thing after another. And then this is just the most recent example. I've never seen a story sort of last this long that is a continuation of self-inflicted wounds, just one after another after another.
Yeah, but Mark, when you say, you tell reporters, we're not going to talk about this anymore, we're moving on.
Yeah,
you may as well
sorry.
tell them, okay, yeah, keep doing the story.
Right. Yeah. One of the things is there's no story here. Oh, that's an old story, right? All of those lines here as a reporter. And the problem that they have here is there's so many millions of files and so many crazy things in there. Some of them are true. Some of them are not true. And now it's all been stripped and shorn of context and no one really knows. And it's just given birth to this entire cottage industry online of just everyone weighing in with who knows what's true and who knows what's not true anymore. It's a real interesting chapter in this sort of new social media, news media infused era where just everyone is uncovering things. And again, we don't quite understand what's true and what's not true. In the end, I've predicted a few times wrongly and privately. And so I'm publicly going to say I'm not going to do it again. That, I think we've reached peak Epstein. And this is the climax and we're not going to hear much more about it. And each time I've been wrong. So if past this prologue, we might have a few more months of this, or who knows how long it's going to last.
Well, I think it's going to last as long as they are not being transparent. That's what I think. And as long as they're not releasing all of it. And when you have, I'll play it for you later, but when you have, Donald Trump's most vocal supporters now coming out saying, okay, wait a minute, something isn't right in Denmark. I think another cliche, but it's true. Can I get back to this? I'm going to go to that later, but I want to get back to this because I think this is so egregious. Yes, I think tactically this is very smart. You always want to have the upper hand on your opponent, right?
Or at least know what they're doing, right? And how to respond.
At least know what they're doing. But this surveilling of people, I mean, and Becca Ballant talked about this on Way Too Early this morning. I just want you to hear a little bit of it because this really does bother me. Here it is.
She knew that I had looked at records from Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary, and that was my line of questioning, to ask her, has the DOJ interviewed these high-ranking members of the Trump administration about their ties to Epstein? She knew that because they were spying on us. They were surveilling us at the DOJ terminals, the computer terminals, and had printouts for what files we had looked at. And Howard Lutnick is of Jewish descent. And so this is one of the most chilling aspects of what happened yesterday. So not only did she have insults prepared for all of us and not answering the question, and survivors were in the room. They were desperate to get some answers and to be acknowledged. And what she was concerned about was bringing up, based on the dirt, including how we were surveilled at DOJ, to try to discredit us. And the survivors left once again feeling like their government had let them down. And it's heartbreaking.
So, yeah.
A good example of while it's a smart idea to know what Congress is interested in so you can respond to them, it's a bad idea to respond to them in the way that she did, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. And she brings up something that's very good. She brings up a very good point, I believe, Mark, about the victims. But I believe that the people were victimized because I wouldn't want someone surveilling me. And why are they surveilling me? Why do they need to know? Because that helps them in their cover up. It's like, so why are you looking at my searches and for your advantage? But I don't see it as an advantage. I see it as a possible cover up. That's why you want to know.
Well, she's certainly exposed to that. And the DOJ is in an interesting position. Never before in the history of the United States of America, and I'm kind of an amateur history reader, I'm an avid history reader, do I recall any case like this where the raw investigative files of a major criminal figure are released to the public. So on one hand, there's been a stunning and unprecedented amount of disclosure and transparency. On the other hand, because of the way it's been handled, because of the rake stepping and these various controversies and self-inflicted wounds, it suddenly looks like, yeah, sure, they released 3 million files, but it still has the quality and is still subject to the accusation of not being transparent. I don't know how the DOJ gets out of that box.
What do you mean? You don't know how the DOJ gets out of it? What are you saying?
What I'm saying is they've released 3 million files. We've never seen that before. And there's a stunning amount of stuff in there. Again, true and not true and who knows what. It is a surprising amount of information. Never seen that before. Yet despite that transparency, mandated by Congress, to be clear, and mandated by Congress essentially over the objections of the president, albeit he didn't veto it, he signed it because he realized where this was going. You have them putting it forward something that is just unprecedented, an unprecedented amount of transparency. Yet the way they've handled it makes it look not transparent at all to folks like you, to their critics, and to the people in Congress who are considering whether to impeach her or not. And how Bondi, how the DOJ, how the Trump administration restores that sense of trust and gets out of this box that it's built of, well, we've released all these records, yet no one really trusts us. I don't know. Yeah.
Mark, if you can stand by and give me 2 minutes, because I want to speak to you a little bit more, but I need to get a word in from our sponsors.
Do it. Make that money.
This episode of The Don Lemon Show is brought to you by Wild Grain. If you love good bread but don't love the work that comes with it, this is for you. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. Everything bakes in about 25 minutes or less, which feels like cheating, but in the best way. What I like most is the simplicity of it all. Real ingredients, slow fermentation, no preservatives, no shortcuts. It tastes like something from an artisan bakery, not a supermarket shelf. My favorites, the sourdough loaves and the croissant. I've also been obsessed with their fresh pasta. It turns a regular weeknight dinner into something that feels intentional. And the boxes are fully customizable. You can choose from their classic variety box, gluten-free vegan or new protein box. It's perfect for quick dinners, weekend brunch, or just having something great on hand when you don't feel like cooking from scratch. So right now, Wild Grain is offering listeners $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life when you go to wildgrain.com/lemon. That's $30 off your first box and free croissants for life at wildgrain.com/lemon. This episode of The Don Lemon Show is brought to you by Graza, makers of crazy fresh olive oil. If you cook even a little, you know olive oil isn't just an ingredient, it's the foundation. Graza has sizzle for everyday cooking, drizzle for finishing, and frizzle for high heat grilling and frying. And now they have added olive oil, mayo, and aioli, rich blend, and actually different from what you usually find in stores. So Graza is the olive oil I keep in my kitchen. It's fresh, never blended, and you can see the harvest date right on the bottle. That matters. I'm always hosting dinners, and I like having both sizzle and drizzle on hand, not just because they taste great, but because they make even simple food feel elevated. If you want to upgrade your cooking without overthinking it, start with better oil. Go to graza.co and use the code LEMON for 20% off of your first order, and look for Graza Mayo at your local grocery store.
Okay. Thanks to our sponsors. So Mark, I want to talk to you. Sarah Longwell said something that I agree with. And that is what's happening to America's moral, center, the moral fiber of America. As if we ever really had it, but anyways, I want you to listen to her and see what
I should not have laughed.
I know.
There's basically two types of people in Trump's administration: people who are in the Epstein files and people who are actively covering up. This is one of those where it's like, if you don't, as a society, say this is not okay, we don't accept this as a socially appropriate thing to do, that is a norm breaking. I don't know, blunder is not a big enough word, but that is like catastrophic for our moral fiber. And that's the part that sort of got me the most engaged. You do want accountability for everybody. And the more that comes out, the more pernicious it all is.
If you accept the fact that the most powerful, the best educated, and the wealthiest in our society have no moral code, then that denigrates. That means society on whole is broken, right? Like you can't accept that they were looking at these human beings and not seeing them as human beings. They were like, oh, they're Jeffrey's toys, and we'll let him play with them however he wants. And it's not going to stop us from making real estate deals with him because we could profit. It's just their own. And the idea of self-interest above basic humanity seems to be like, I don't know, the organizing principle of what happens in the circle of Epstein friends.
Okay, so here's my thing, Mark. Well, he said, he can play with his toys. He can play with it as he wants. But I mean, we've had degrading behavior as it relates to slavery in this country and the internment of certain people and indigenous people and all those things. So, I mean, we've had people, and many of them not wealthy, but they've treated people as property. But we're supposed to be in a whole new era now of information, and we've known, past the civil rights movement and the Me Too movement, and we should know better. But it doesn't feel like that's getting across to everyone because there are folks who still support this inhumane behavior.
This is a difficult thing to get across, so I might fail at doing it. We today have the benefit and the detriment, perhaps, of hindsight. Mm-hmm. And let me be clear about one thing. Howard Lutnick was moronic for going on whatever podcast or show it was and giving this story about how he saw Epstein in some creepy massage chair. And he was like, you know what? I'm never going to deal with that guy again. Never, ever, ever. And then it turns out years later, he visited Epstein on Epstein Island. Why Lutnick, and I've tried to find this out, decided to just lie, or maybe he forgot about this, is just not clear. Okay? Let's be clear. But one of the things we have to remember with the Epstein case is the original sin beyond the sinner, Epstein, and his crew of sinners, Ghislaine Maxwell and some of his other clear co-conspirators, is that he was convicted in a sweetheart plea deal for a set of crimes that occurred with underage girls, with teens, for a period of time in the early 2000s. And the original sin was that Alex Acosta, who was the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida, based in Miami, gave this guy a deal he never should have had. And as a result of that deal, a lot of people didn't know all of the dirty, terrible things that Epstein had actually done, because the plea deal made his crimes look far less severe than they really were. And as a result, a lot of people who came into contact with Epstein afterward were not aware of the full suite of crimes that today we are. And now, to a degree, and I don't want to criticize Sarah, my former boss at the Bulwark, was that Alex who was interviewing her, with whom I have
Alex Wagner,
yeah. Don't want to criticize them for this, but we need to remember that what was known immediately after Epstein's conviction, his serving of a sentence. Remember, he was given such a sweetheart plea deal that he was allowed to basically get out of jail, right? He didn't look like a child rapist to the average person. And the records were sealed, as most records are. So people didn't know the extent of his crimes. So therefore, the Howard Lutnicks of the world and a lot of these people in high society thought, okay, he had sex with a 17-year-old prostitute. This is what they thought. I'm not saying it's fair, and I'm not saying it's right, but it certainly didn't reflect the broader crimes. So for today, for us to look back and think that everyone in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 knew this extent of crimes, they didn't. What started to really change was Julie Brown at the Miami Herald exposing this, looking back and saying, oh my God, there was so much more. And so I don't think there's only kind of two types of people involved here. There is a grayer area. But I do think it's beyond a shadow of a doubt that DOJ could have handled the situation better. They could have been more transparent about their process of redacting and a little clearer in communicating that. And they haven't been. And that's why, again, I think they're in the box that they're in, and I don't know how they get out.
Back to now the subject of our thumbnail on this program is Donald Trump, and I don't know if he's paying attention or not paying attention. Well, it appears he's not really paying attention, but this is what he's saying about Lutnick being in the going to the island.
President, were you aware that Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein's island, and do you continue to have?
No, I wasn't aware of it. No, I didn't. I actually haven't spoken to him about it. I wasn't, but from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. And I guess in some cases, some people were. I wasn't. I was never there. Somebody will someday say that. I was never there. Yeah, please.
This announcement that you made.
Wait, I didn't know about it, but yeah.
I didn't know about it, but I know all the details.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
Yeah. But go ahead.
Go on.
Well, this is understand this about Donald Trump is that when Donald Trump experiences something that he doesn't want to experience and it makes him look bad, he calls it a hoax. He called COVID a hoax. He wasn't saying COVID didn't exist. He was saying that the criticisms of him were a hoax. Same with Russia. He didn't say all these different things didn't exist, just that the idea that he was on the take is. That's why he called the Epstein files a hoax. Not that Epstein didn't do all of these dirty, terrible things that he's been accused of, or that there weren't these various other criminals involved, but that the idea that he, Donald Trump, was complicit in all of this was the hoax. And so similarly, if anyone around him is a friend and is implicated, this is how he reacts. I'm explaining it. I'm not excusing it, but this is just sort of typical Trump crisis response. Like, I don't know about it, but I know these facts, but you know what? I didn't do it.
Yeah. Do you know who James Walkinshaw is? Right. It's a Virginia representative. So he's a Virginia representative, kind of like you. He's glasses, handsome. Anyways, he was on the MS Now, saying something very similar to what Sarah over at the Bulwark said. And I'm going to play it for you and see what you think. Here it is.
I think one of the things that's important here to note is it's just kind of strange how many Trump cabinet officials are involved in this Epstein thing. So you have Alex Acosta, who is the prosecutor in Florida, who gives Epstein a sweetheart deal, becomes Trump's labor secretary in the first term. And now you have Trump's commerce secretary, clearly at a minimum, lied to the American people and to his boss, Donald Trump, about the extent of his relationship with Epstein. Just very strange. Of all the people in the world, why does Trump keep selecting for his cabinets people who have very close relationships with Jeffrey Epstein? Weird.
Seriously, like we're left to our own devices about the involvement, and why do so many people close to him have these direct connections, and not just one or two, many?
Because of one of the as a character, as a historical figure, as a villain, okay? One of the fascinating things about the villain of Jeffrey Epstein is how he was this, I'm going to use a really obscure one. He's this Zelig-like figure, right? He was this creature who understood how power flowed, and he was able somehow, and there's a lot of theories, and I'm not saying they're wrong, somehow this guy's catapulted himself into the elite of not just United States society, but global high society, and made himself either indispensable or on a first name basis with world leaders. If you look at the Epstein files and these emails, he's emailing people from Russia. He's dealing with Israel a lot. The guy was clearly, I'm not going to say an agent, but clearly an asset of at least one, if not two, if not three intelligence agencies, CIA, like US, Israel, and Russia. He moved in power politics circles, and he was based in Palm Beach. What's Palm Beach? Palm Beach is the place where the Yankee and Jewish elite of the Northeast summer. These are the people who use, right? These are the people who
it's
use
where they winter.
seasons.
It's where they winter.
Oh, pardon me, they winter. I'm sorry. They're people who use
They
seasons
summer in
as
the
a
Hamptons.
verb. Right, they summer in the Hamptons and they winter there, right? So Donald Trump has self-selected a cabinet and has all of these friends who are in this global elite. And so you can't swing a dead cat in the Epstein files without hitting some sort of elite. And chances are, since Trump is drawing from them, he's going to get them. That is my armchair analysis of why there's such a Venn diagram overlap between the two.
You can't swing a pink flamingo in Palm Beach.
Fair enough.
Without that happening, I have some breaking news for you. I want you to respond to it. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh, no.
This is a put up. I saw this email at DOJ today. This is Rokana. This is a.
Oh, I know. This is the Iowa caucus thing, right?
Yeah,
sorry,
who shouldn't have been redacted, right? It is a direct. You can talk. Yeah, a direct violation of Representative Thomas Massey and my Epstein Files Transparency Act. But then, folks online, let me tell you, and we don't know, right? They're just surmising. If you read this, this says. Hi, Jeffrey. I got more votes than Jeb Bush, right? Got in Iowa. I only had one congressional district. He had 4. It's funny. It's so funny to me. Totally embarrassing to him. Still like Trump and might be a delegate to the Republican convention. And he goes on to talk about things. Now, again, we don't know this, but folks are going back and they're doing, the research.
Sleuthing.
Yes. Yeah. And they're saying online people.
I did the same thing. Like, who the hell is this?
They're saying it's Marco Rubio. Jeb Bush received 2,800 to 3,000 votes, roughly 2.8% to 3%, finishing 6th. Marco Rubio placed 3rd with around 48,000 votes, 23.1%. Again, not confirmed, but what do you say? They're saying it's Marco Rubio.
I doubt it because of the love ya thing. I just can't see Rubio talking like that. That's one. 2, the person, I'm going upwards. I'm going from the bottom up, from love ya. I see love you. I'm like, not Rubio. Then if you go a little like in the penultimate paragraph there, the second paragraph, you have this person went to the Virgin Islands.
Right.
So having covered Rubio for a number of years and having covered that race in 2016, this is 2015. We're talking basically, right?
Yeah.
So I don't remember Rubio being able to slip off as a United States senator to the Virgin Islands. It's possible. Right, so the language doesn't look like his, and the going to the Virgin Islands doesn't. Now, of course, watch me eat my words, right?
So who does love ya sound? Oh, sorry, go on. So go on.
Then, no, just to finish, I'm just going through my process of how I knocked Rubio out, right? Then you got this thing like I might be a delegate, right? Like that doesn't sound like Rubio at the time. He didn't like Donald Trump at the time, right? All of these things of like exclamation points, like it just doesn't strike me as a Rubio email. So now who are we left?
Ted Cruz, and someone said Nikki Haley. Was Nikki Haley in it?
No, Nikki Haley's not there.
She wasn't there, yeah.
And you have in the Iowa caucus in 2016. So you've got Ted Cruz, you had Donald Trump. I'm just going in the order of how they finished. Cruz, Trump, Rubio. Then it's Dr. Ben Carson and Rand Paul, and then it's Jeb. So Cruz. I think assuming
Cruz.
It's either Cruz, Carson, or Rand Paul. Rand Paul doesn't strike. He's the kind of guy. I remember he got in a fight with his neighbor who said
Cruz is a love ya. Cruz is a love ya kind of guy.
So I'm thinking it's either Cruz or Carson, just judging by those things. But remember, Cruz, when he likes to vacation, he likes to go to Cozumel, right? He doesn't go to or wherever it was, Cancun. Remember Cancun Cruz when they're anyway. But so maybe it's Carson.
I don't see Carson. Really maybe I'm wrong. I don't see Carson scuba diving, but hey, okay.
Yeah. So I only think it's not Rubio for the reasons there. I have no clue about the other ones.
So we don't know. Mark Caputo, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You are welcome.
And you are a handsome guy. I stand by that.
Hey, you can have me on anytime and tell me that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Caputo from Axios, everyone. And we appreciate him joining us. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Support comes from Shopify. Shopify. When I started the Don Lemon Show, I thought the hard part would be the content. Well, I was wrong. There were scripts, logos, schedules, merch, decisions stacked on top of decisions, all kinds of things. It felt like the to-do list would never stop growing. And that's where Shopify came in for us. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses and about 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And yes, we use Shopify here to bring you the merch that you love. I was apprehensive. You demanded it. I did it. And you know what? You were right. I was wrong. Shopify makes it easy to build a store that actually looks like your brand with templates, AI tools, and built-in marketing that helps you find customers without needing a tech team. So if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/lemon. That's shopify.com/lemon. Our show is sponsored by MSI Reproductive Choices, a global leader in women's reproductive health care. Across Africa and Asia, MSI serves women who often have little or no access to care. Their stories are powerful. Students who want to finish school without fear of an unplanned pregnancy, families whose livelihoods are threatened by climate change, women who simply want the ability to decide if and when to have children. Government funding cuts have made access harder, but MSI keeps going because of support from everyday people. For $39, you can provide a year of contraception to 6 women. That's real impact. So text LEMON to 511-511 or visit msiunitedstates.org. That's M as in modern, S as in safe, I as in informed. Text LEMON to 511-511 or go to msiunitedstates.org to donate today.
Legends, come on down. Hello, legends. Thank you. Now, understand, so you guys were like, you're not agreeing with a lot of what Mark Caputo said. And, you know, I can call women beautiful. I can call men handsome. Anyways, here we go. So I think folks have their hands up. I want to know what you think. Who do you think it is on this email to Jeffrey Epstein? Lori King, you're first up, my dear. Unmute.
Sorry about that. I don't know who it is, but I think it's really a high profile person where if they get caught on there, that they're going to come and crumble a government or, an industry, something. And it's just really scary because, I work in this type of industry where we're doing redactions, we're doing productions, and, what she was saying about being privileged for that redaction on the email, I was like, that's privilege. You have to have attorney-client communications. You have to have advice. You have to also have, if it's work product, because this is what I look for when I send out productions, because if I miss that, I'm fired.
Yeah. All right. Was that your comment?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Quick today. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. Let's see. Monique Delaney. Make sure you guys are unmuted. I'm going to go to the next person. Hi, Monique.
I am.
Hi, Mo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I was hot yesterday. I couldn't watch a lot of it because I probably would have thrown something through my television screen if I had kept on watching. The disrespect is palpable. This whole thing, she's soulless. Number one, that picture of the survivors raising their hand and looking at her, and the look on her face, the absolute it's like she couldn't be bothered, and
it was
tough.
It was tough to watch. I mean, and because all she had to do was at least try to acknowledge them, somewhat. But I've got it, Mo. We're going to be a little bit shorter today. Jamie, are you there?
Of course.
Jamie, make sure you're unmuted if you have your hand up.
I'm unmuted.
Hi, Jamie. Jamie, I love that you wear the merch every time. What's your quick comment?
My merch is like my security blanket right now. As a survivor of 10 years of abuse from powerful people,
oh my God,
I can say that this was the biggest slap in the face to every single victim in the world, because it takes so much courage to speak up, and then to have the person that is supposed to protect you turn her back to you. That's just egregious. That is a new level of depravity. I did not tune in. I had to tune out. I came on today because this is a safe space, but it's too much, and I can only imagine how many other survivors in this world are completely triggered by the blatant re-abuse of these women.
Thank you, Jamie. Raul, are you there? And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Is Raul there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Raul. Thank you for joining. What's your comment, sir?
I think me living in Puerto Rico and kind of being outside, but also part as a colony, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. You know, like the person that spoke before said, it's sad that they're not taking serious, these survivors and, they keep on gaslighting. But that's the only comment I have. And thank you, Don. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And what about Bad Bunny?
Oh, we don't have enough time. You're gonna miss your flight. Very proud of him. Very proud of him. I think the whole week, the most amazing thing is the island is so small that I have many people who were directly into the album. One of the percussionists is a young child that I photographed for years. And then I also have friends who were like flag bearers and even Bad Bunny's hairstylist used to be my hairstylist before. So it was really cool to see them working on all of this. So that's the only thing I'm going to say because now people.
Thank you very much. Hi, Roseanne. Are you there?
Hi, Dawn. Yes, I'm here and I'm unmuted.
What's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I believe that photo is going to join the iconic photos in American history of her looking away and the survivors with their hands up and looking at her. That is going to be a photo that one, yes. I believe that is going to be shown for years, decades to come. And I actually, and I'm so sorry, I had to turn your show off yesterday because it was giving me a panic attack listening to her.
I understand.
I could not do it. And my takeaway from her was that look to me was, you are a pebble in my shoe. And I just don't want to deal with you. So
yeah. Thank you for that. I understood because it was grating, and I put out a thing later. I wanted to watch all of it because I was working. Remember, I had to do the speeches. And so you're right. I understand that. I had to run it though, because I thought it was important, but I flipped off of it when I was rewatching it or, watching the repeat of it. And I put on the Olympics. I was like, I can't deal with this. So I certainly understand how you feel. Jen Ahmed.
Hello, Don. How are you?
Hi, Jen.
Really quick, I just want to say at the Broadview facility on the 28th, we are having a Salt the Ice event. And I also just want to say ice is not disappearing. It is just moving. That is what it does. And I also know that May Money wants to shout out thank you. So if I could give the rest of my time to her.
See, May Money is reclaiming your time. Okay, go ahead, May.
Please do.
That was very kind. I will claim your time. I'm going to be as quick as possible. First of all, thank you so much, Lemon Nation, for the overwhelming, just like, God damn it, I'm about to cry. Like, oh my God, you guys, the kindness that was shown to the children at my school is unmatched. And, I started losing hope there, and people always be like, oh, you made money, you should have hope. Like, hope for what? Hope where? Where's, like, hope needs action. And y'all showed me hope for once. In, like, the past 2 years, I haven't felt it. And the donations, thank you so much for just helping us out and getting through this. I'm a little Black girl from Oakland. I know what it's like to grow up in a place like this, and I don't want these kids to have the same experience that I did, because it's not easy getting out of here and surviving out of a place like this. And thank you. And because we are at war, and I need people to behave accordingly, and things like helping people out, mutual aid, things like that is so important. And we need to behave like we are at war. We don't have no constitution no more. Maybe we could bitch slap a person with it, but like but right now we need to behave like we are at war, and we need to get creative so that we, get through it.
Yep.
And then last thing, who raised Megyn Kelly? Because bitch, what the fuck?
Okay, that's enough said about that subject. Katie Carrick.
Leave that heifer where she at.
Katie Carrick. Hi, Katie. Where are you?
Just to,
Hi, how are you?
piggyback
Love the
off
hat.
Thank you. Just to piggyback off of what Jamie was saying too about how
this is just a slap in the face to all of the survivors out there. And when you went off the air yesterday and like the broadcast continued, some of the legends can vouch. I maybe lasted another 30 minutes before I just got so angry I had to just shut it off for my own mental health. And I also have a message from Barb, who's one of our legends from Minnesota. She has said that just because they're saying that ICE is leaving Minnesota doesn't mean that they're all
They're
leaving.
leaving. Yeah.
And to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
She couldn't be here tonight, but she wanted me to relay that.
Yeah, that's what we've been hearing, and there you have to look at the language surrounding it when they say, "Oh, the aggressive" or whatever, and so maybe there's, I believe they're still going to have a presence there. So I'm going to Maureen Marfell next, but make sure you're unmuted, Maureen. But I agree. I don't think that they're leaving. I think, and if they do leave, most of them, then they'll just probably turn up somewhere else. Maureen.
Yes. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
I'm with, as always, with my lemon friends here. She was the most irritating, awful person that I spent a long time looking at, and I had to finally turn her off too. What is she doing there? Why is she in that job? She's got to go, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to be real quick here. I'm wishing you well tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I do see your emails too, because you also read and you follow my Substacks, and I see your emails when you send them to me. You say, "Thank you, Don and Peter, for this article." It's great. I see them all the time. But
you're a great writer. I love your articles, and Peter's.
Thank you. And Peter too. Yeah, as well. Thank you very much. Okay, I think who has their Andrea has her hand up. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Don. How are you doing today?
I'm doing
always
well.
happy to talk to you.
I'm always happy to see you. Look at that smile. You know, Andrea, you know what people do? It's so weird. Like when I'm in the airport, or just walking around, people walk up to me now. Maybe you can explain why. And they say to me, especially women, and they'll say, "I know this sounds weird, but can I give you a hug?" And that it used to happen a little bit, but not as much as it happens now.
You know, Don, I have followed you for years and years, and you seem so warm and welcoming and down to earth and truthful. And women love to see men that love their mother. You loved your sisters, you just seem like a gentleman. You seem like an actual gentleman, and they are not, you don't see them that often anymore. And you look good.
I don't know he Don Lemon. You don't know he Don Lemon.
Is that your comment, Boo? Before I go, because I'm gonna have to go and get on my plane in a little bit.
Well, the comment I wanted to make is I don't know if we'll ever know the truth, but one thing people have to remember is I guess you'll vote next time.
Come on now. Come on now. Go ahead, Kev. Kev, you've been talking go on and get in here, Kev.
And I have voted for you several times. So,
yeah, you guys have to vote
and
on.
I need to send you some emails.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you.
Listen, I just want everybody to get in. So I hung back a little bit. Be quick. Listen, we all know.
You never pull back because you're
like she
always
has her
commenting,
hand
Kev.
up. Sandra is here.
We can hear
like
you,
to
Kev.
ad
You're
lib.
like, no, yeah, right on.
Sandra is here.
That's my support. But anyway, I'll be quick. We all know Pamela Joe was tap dancing yesterday for her Orange Daddy. It's no surprise there. She was sounding like an overzealous Pope member. She'd make an excellent housewife.
Yeah.
But I just think everyone to just really stay focused and keep their eyes on the prize, because she's acting like that because she feels like she's not going anywhere. This administration feels like they're not going anywhere. So we can't forget that. We can't forget about ICE being at the polls. But I just want to wish you luck tomorrow, my brother. You will overcome and make it through this. You're in my prayers, man.
Thank you very much.
Loyalty. She has to show her loyalty.
Let me just say this. You bring up a very good point, Kev, because every administration thinks that they're going to last forever. And if let's be honest, if you look at the Reagan administration, they thought that was sort of an era. Reagan was gone. Every administration ends. If you look at Carter, if you look at Bush 1, Bush 2, even Barack Obama. Like the Obama era ended, and the Trump era will end. And these people, maybe they don't have enough foresight to realize that, and some of them may end up getting prosecuted. So, Sandra, go. Sandra's next. Sandra.
She has her camera off. Oh, there she is.
I'm here. Listen, you had your comment earlier about people coming up to you and asking for a hug, and I wanted to comment, and I guess other people did. I saw you at the show with DL, and I know exactly what that is, and it's just that we are in real times, Don, and we value you. Are so important. You have done so much. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of being a Lemon legend. I'm glad to be on the show and contribute. And I'm going to say that about that part. So please always expect us that when we see you, to just hug you and give you love, okay?
Thank you very much, Sandra. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your support. I got to get there so that I don't miss it. So thank you, legends. All right. And so tomorrow, legends, come on. We're going to do it. We're going to have a show tomorrow. We'll have a show tomorrow. I'm not sure how long we're going to go, but thank you for all the well wishes. I love you guys. I mean, seriously, I love you guys. You've kept me sane and comfort, and you've given me comfort through all of this. All right. Bye, legends.
We love you. We love you so much. Bye.
Bye. Bye. What a great community we have here. All the legends and everyone. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Before I let you go, I just want to tell you about something that's really, really, really important because people are struggling financially right now. We're in hard financial times no matter what they tell you. You hear from the administration, any of that. We're in tough times. A lot of people are putting like really high interest rates on their credit cards. We've teamed up with someone that can help you.
Let's be honest, the math feels harder lately. Groceries cost more, insurance costs more. More families are leaning on high interest credit cards just to stay afloat. If you're a homeowner, carrying balances with interest rates in the 20s or 30s, it's awful. And there may be another option for you. Mortgage rates are near a 3-year low, and American Financing is helping people consolidate high interest debt into more manageable payments. On average, they're saving customers about $8 a month. Their consultants don't just sell loans, they help build real exit strategies for debt. So call 1-888-675-4090. That's 888-675-4090, or visit americanfinancing.net/lemon. American Financing, America's home for home loans.
Thank you so much to our sponsor this. So listen, there's no obligation. Go check it out. If you don't like it, then you don't have to do it. But I think it's important that that folks have options. Before I let you go, I just want to see if you guys buy this BS. This is the BS from Donald Trump about the racist Obama video. He's still pretending that it wasn't a big deal. Here it is.
Mr. President, have you fired or disciplined that staffer who posted the video from your account that included the Obamas?
No, I haven't. That was a video on, as you know, voter fraud, and fairly long video, and they had a little piece and had to do with the Lion King. It's been very well, it's been shown all over the place long before that was posted. But that was a very strong, and I'm sure you saw it, a very strong piece on voter fraud, and the piece that you're talking about was all over the place many times, I believe for years. Yeah, please.
He knows, but he can never admit it, and his racism is beyond. All right, everyone. Thank you. If you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, you can go to donlemon.com, and at the top of the page, that's where you can vote for us. All you have to do is follow the steps, vote for us for our NAACP Image Awards, 4 of them, and we appreciate it. Okay, I got to go because I got to get to. I'm going to, so keep an eye out. I'm going to Minneapolis for my first court appearance tomorrow after being arrested, as you know, in Los Angeles by the feds. So thank you for watching. I want you to be informed without being inundated until I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time here on the Don Lemon Show and the Don Lemon channel. Turn the TV off.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.